I was doing a drill with my boxing coach today, and my coach is like he's like a dude from Afghanistan, and I think he started like MMA boxing when he was like 10 years old or something, and he's like a real like a real like I don't want to say, man, he's like as real as it gets as a coach. Like he's that type of coach where like anything he says, you just listen. Like you don't even try to argue with him. Like if you try to argue with him, like you're out of the pack, you're out of the group. Like he's that type of coach, like with everything he says, he's like really adamant with it. He's like everything he says, he means it. Like there's no argument. He's like a cult leader. Like anything he says, you just do what he says. Like that's how I feel about him. Other coaches, sometimes like what they say is like not that firm and you can still argue with it. But I guess there is pros and cons to it. If you're that adamant, sometimes there could be some downsides and there could be some upsides too. So yeah, he's that type of coach, and anything he says, I would just listen to it. Like I would not argue with him, even if it doesn't make sense. I would still not argue with him to his face. I would like park it next in my head and like be like, yeah, okay, it kind of makes sense, but I'll think it over, and if it makes sense in the future, I'll definitely listen to it. You know. But yeah, I won't argue shit to him in his face. But yeah, anyway, we were doing a drill, and like halfway through the drill, he caught me with like a punch, like a jab or in a right cross, and he took me aside and he was like, don't blink, don't be scared. You have to be active. You have to like know what you're doing. Like act like you know what you're doing. Like you gotta move more. You gotta punch. You gotta be active. You can't be like scared like this all the time. Because if your opponent knows you're scared, if your opponent knows he senses some weakness in you, that's when he crushes you. That's when he punches you, and he makes sure you loses. Once he smells the finish line, once he smells that you are weak, then he will try his best to finish you. And he said, like it's like the world, you got to punch. You got, if people see that you are weak, he will try to crush you. He'll push you. He'll fucking fuck you up. So he said something like that. And yeah, and I totally agree with him. Like people prey on the weak. Like when they see something weak, they will try to like destroy it. Sometimes subtly, and sometimes like really, it's really obvious. But I feel like in today's world, like people they don't really prey on the weak. Like they don't really like punish the weak because it's not accepted in society now. People do it more subtly. But I feel like when they talk to people that are willing to listen to the truth, they'll just say the truth. Like I felt he said the truth to me because he knew I could take the truth. He knew that the truth wouldn't hurt me. That's why he just told me straight up, like it's like the world, you gotta people prey on the weak. They try to punish the weak. They try to destroy what's weak. It's even in the laws of the 48 laws of power. Strike at what's weak. I think so. It should be there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I totally agree. Like you have to strike at what's weak. If you sense some weakness in your opponent, you strike it, and you make sure that you strike at his weakness, and you make sure that he loses, because that's the only way to beat him, by striking at his weaknesses. And then that's how you beat him. That's how you destroy him. And yeah, I just found that really interesting. That he shared that he wanted to share that with me. I appreciate it. From a coach like him, I appreciate it a lot, and I will keep that lesson in mind. So if anyone tries to hurt me and tries to think that they can bully me, I'll be like, no. Like I'll show them like I can take it. You know, they're not gonna bully me. They're not gonna bully me. They're not gonna destroy me. You know, you gotta show that you can fight with them. You gotta show that you're brave too. You know, that you're not easily preyed on. That you're not weak. Because if they sense weakness in you, then they'll destroy you. Then they'll laugh at you. So sometimes you gotta be like, you don't have to be arrogant. You just gotta show that you're there, you're present, and that you're alive and you're ready to fight. You know? That's what I got from today's lesson. Today's Monday night boxing training. Honestly, I didn't even want to go to the training because I'm sick today. Like yesterday, like my whole team, my whole triathlon team, I think we were sick after the session. Like someone in the team had like some sickness or something, and they brought it over to the whole team, and now everyone's sick. So yeah, I'm sick now. I don't know who brought it over, but I'm sick now and I don't feel that well. But you know, I had some time to rest. You know, I slept for like an extra 2 to 3 hours, and I'm just back at the swimming pool and back at the boxing gym. You know, just gotta be consistent every single day. And yeah, don't be weak, because if people see weakness in you, that is where they will strike. You know, so that's a lesson that I learned. Well, of course, you know, there's always a fine line. You can go too far with the don't be weak thing. You know, if you try too hard to not be weak, then that itself could be a weakness too. But that is definitely something to keep in mind for me, because I feel like, you know, I'm always too scared sometimes when I'm boxing. Like, I'm too scared to get hurt. You know, sometimes I just gotta be like a little confident and just show that, yeah, I can fight too. And that's what I felt like coach was trying to drill in my head. Like, don't be scared. You gotta be confident. You gotta like show the opponent that you know you can fight, and that you are a worthy opponent to fight with. And in that sense, you get the respect from your opponent, and your opponent will think twice before like looking down on you or something like that. But yeah, that was a good lesson. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Also, I'm making another video too, because I missed one yesterday. I was like knocked out. I was sick. I couldn't make a video. But yeah, I'll make 2 today. I'll give this to Patrick to edit. So yeah, peace.